Hello guys, welcome to another episode of my Minecraft survival series. Today I'm starting off in this chamber where I built this giant melon and pumpkin farm in our last episode. Here it is unloading, a whole bunch of melon slices and pumpkins, running really well. As you can see, I continue building up this area a little bit. I finished out my design around it by placing a whole bunch of smooth stone blocks, the new ones from 1.14. I use them to line the entire area, except for this block right here. It's going to stop the minecart if we have a block right there. But the pumpkins and melon slices were kind of sliding out of the side of the farm, and this will prevent that. Also, I put this handy little gate here to prevent me from walking too close to the farm accidentally and maybe knocking the cart off of its rails. And while I was doing that, I had to cook up a whole bunch of smooth stone, because that's how you get it. You put it into a smelter. If you notice, I moved my smelter down here, and I left a whole bunch of smooth stone smelted up in here. This whole exercise really emphasized the need for me to make myself a smelter and built it permanently in my base here. So the thing I'm going to be doing to improve my base today is that I'm going to build a smelter that has a constant fuel source. I don't ever want to have to worry about fueling it, and I think I'm going to do it in this area. I'd like to have a line of furnaces, like right about here, or possibly back one, I guess, probably right there where that block is. Behind here, I'd like to have a giant kelp farm that is always feeding the line of furnaces. I'm thinking I'd like to put the input and output chests over here, and then I'd like to have like a row of like 9 furnaces that are all lit up. You can see when something is being smelted. So here I am in a creative world where I've designed what I want to try to achieve. This is actually a creative world originally created by Ilmango. This is his kelp farm, which, as you can see, is actually currently harvesting. Anyway, uses slime ball flying machines to harvest the kelp. The kelp is then fed down into a furnace array system that I've built down here. Once this hopper fills up completely, when it's more full than this hopper over here, then the release station will allow the hopper to start traveling around the track here. We've got 15 smokers on this side. Smokers smelt kelp into dried kelp, or what I like to call kale chips, a little bit faster than a regular furnace. All of the kelp is then taken to these chests over here. This chest actually, and then somebody can stand here in a little room and can craft them, turn them into kelp blocks, put them in this chest, and put them into this system over here, which feeds fuel over to the main furnaces over there. Now you'll notice that even though I've got 9 furnaces showing through the window, I've got more furnaces off to the side here. This is actually a 15 furnace array back here, so it will smelt things pretty efficiently and quickly. We've got some kelp that is timing out and vanishing before the hopper can pick it up. So we need a better pickup system. As you can see, it is 4 mine carts on top of 9 hoppers, all going into the double chest there. It picks up the items instantly. I'm going to do a little test here. I filled up my inventory with kelp, and I'm just going to throw them out as fast as I can into the system. As you can see, they're just vanishing. There's no overflow. I threw them into the top one. They're already out of the top one. They're filtering through all of the minecart hoppers, and then they flow through these hoppers and into this bottom chest here. So on today's episode, I'm definitely going to start off by digging out and building this giant kelp growing chamber. And I'm also going to build the collection system on screen, so I'll show you how to build this toward the end of the episode. So let me know what you think of this. Let me know if this is going to be like a cool addition to my base. I even kind of added on what it's going to look like here. If you enjoy this episode, please leave me a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. And leave me a comment if you have any feedback, if you have some thoughts about the way my base is going. This level is so high that I'm probably going to divide it into 2 levels. So I took some additional measurements from the creative world that I've been working on that I just showed you, and looks like I can put the next platform about 8 above this platform. I don't know. This level actually might need to go like 2 more up. I think I might go ahead and move it up 2. Okay, let's check this out. Yes, all right, that is much better. It's back way up. Yeah, so that's like right in the middle. That's good. All right, so I think that I'm going to go up there and I'm going to make a kind of temporary level at that height, and then I'm going to start digging into that wall at that area. All right, guys, so now that I have a little platform to stand on, and keeping in mind that this level is going to be covered with slabs, I'm going to go ahead and start digging out this area behind here. I love how Instamine just lets me rip it apart. That's very satisfying. All right, now we're going to dig 6 this way to open up the area needed in order to see the entire front of the kelp farm. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should be it. All right, so it looks like I should have left this wall in here. I only intend to have like a 3 wide opening to get into this room. And we need to go back another block this direction before we start building the kelp farm. So that is where the center is, and there's going to be a tank for kelp over here and a tank for kelp over here. All right, so now we just have to dig the rest of the chamber to that height, and then I think 40 back. Yeah. All right, time to start digging. Hi guys, big update here. All right, so as you can see, I've dug out both of the growing chambers for our kelp. Each one of these is 40 blocks long, so it goes all the way back there, and it is 10 blocks high. The 40 blocks, of course, doesn't include the glass walls at either end. And then I dug this little corridor in order to get to the far end. At the far end, I also dug out another 4 blocks, 5 blocks actually, of space so that I can build the return unit over there. So what happens with this, if you haven't tried out Ilmango's version of this kelp farm, is that a flying machine will send from this area. When it gets to that far end, it triggers redstone that sends another flying machine from that side over to here. We'll set up a timer over here that will send this off every 20 minutes or so, and it will send the return carriage back to this side, and then we will have a timer on the far side that will send that unit back, and then this unit will be triggered to go back over there. So now I'm ready to start building the flying machine, and I've created some green glazed terracotta to use around here. As you can see, I have a lot of signs, and I also have a shulker box full of signs. 560 signs is what I calculated. I'm going to need to put up at the top of both of these. Okay, let's get started. So we want to line this glass hole with terracotta, just like that. And then we want to put in some slime blocks. Going just like that. Another one coming out here. And then we need a sticky piston, which I can just kind of make in my hand. Just make 3 of those to do the whole thing. Put a sticky piston here. And then we're going to have another line. Oh, actually in the middle here, we need another couple pieces of glass. And I should put that in there first. Also, we need an observer to go. Let's see if I can place it. Maybe I have to just jump up, place it right there. All right, good. And another sticky piston facing that way. And then we're going to continue with these slime blocks all around the back here and connecting over here to another sticky piston, which I'm going to try to carefully put in this way. Yep, facing the right way. All right, and then we need another couple glass blocks on the back here, so when it arrives on the far side, it'll seal up the hole it's going to make in the glass, because this is going to take these 2 side pieces of glass with it, and I'm stuck in a hole. Right here we need a piece of obsidian in order to block it, and then I think I need to go put another one on the far side. Yep, and now on the opposite side, I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm not going to build a flying machine here, of course. We have that on the far side over there. And I can take out these two pieces of glass. Okay, and then our, let's see, 1, 2, 3. So we need this piece of obsidian to go right there. I placed it on the torch so that it would be out from the wall, and that'll prevent the flying machine from going too far. All right, now I'm going to build the other flying machine right here. So I have a quick correction on the one that I just built here. We actually need to take out this piece of glass and get it back. And then we need an observer going into here. So instead of this piece of glass, we're also going to have a observer here, and then we're going to have a line of blocks. I'm going to use diorite, and we need those to come this way and cross over here. And then we need a non-sticky block here. Just place redstone dust on all of these, and that is what's going to power the unit to go back. All right, now I'm going to do the powering unit here. Looks like it should go up there and here, and then when we turn this on, should be able to power this entire unit and should send it across there. All right, guys, very tricky build because things are different on the other side than they are on this side. But I think we're ready to run our first test, so I've set up kind of a temporary power on switch. So we just turn it off and on. And we can turn it off again. That one starts going across. All right, and then I can just move over here, and when it reaches the far end there, it should send the other unit coming back this way. Let's see if it gets there. All right, looks like it's stopped. And this one is approaching. All right, good. And stop. Yes, all right, it works. Whew. Now it's time to build the collection system before we put in the water or anything else. So just to keep myself straight, I'm going to put a glass block there just to remind me that all of this is going to be covered with glass. And then we need to dig out a 3x3 area right here to put the collection system down. Let's see. All right, tear up this part too. And take out this torch. All right, and then I'm just going to dig down a couple blocks to get started. We're going to start down here by placing a double chest, and then we are going to place a hopper going on the top of that. We're going to place 4 hoppers going into each side of the central hopper, and then we're going to place more hoppers, each of them going into one of the hoppers like this, just going around, and that way we have an efficient setup. Okay, now at this point I am going to put rails on the 4 corner hoppers, and right here too. Okay, and then I'm going to use end rods to put them all in position. We're going to put one there, 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 and there, and 4 of those are there temporarily. Okay, so now we're going to put a hopper minecart on each of these rails, and it just occurred to me that I may not have room to get down there where I need to get, but I can reach far enough to place those. All right, so now with those placed, I'm going to kind of, actually you need to break the rails underneath. And now we're going to kind of shove the minecarts toward the center. And hopefully it won't slide back. This one's giving me all kind of problems. Maybe I need to dig out some additional room behind here so that I can move these into place. All right, again, we're going to break the rail underneath there and then gently shove it toward the middle. This one I may, okay, good, it worked out there. I'm going to temporarily remove this piece of glass, and now we can take out the rails under this one and the rail under this one. And now we can just move both of these toward the center. Good enough. And that one's perfect. I wish I could get this one a little bit better aligned. What you really want is to get the corners into the center so that it seems like They're all able to grab from the center here. And in the center, we're going to put a temporary block on top of the end rod. So now I'm going to place a rail on top of the slime block and a minecart hopper on top of that, and then punch out the temporary block so that the minecart falls right onto the end rod like that. And now you can get rid of these other end rods. Okie doke. So now I need to encase all this in glass so that the minecarts don't get moved around. So we're going to put a piece of glass there, and there, and there. Let's see, we're just going to go around and make a ring around the central hopper minecart. Just like that, and we don't need this one. I need to put pistons on top of each of these, like this, and then pop this one out. Alright, and now get under here and try to put it facing downward. Great. Pop that one out, and then we can put a piece of redstone above it to push the glass into place. Alright, great. So now we got a piece of glass in place, and that minecart can no longer be moved around. So now I just need to do the same with the rest of these. Okay, I've got all the glass pushed down into place so that these can't be moved around anymore, and I'm going to cover the rest of this up with stone and glass up here in the front. Alright, so there's our collection system all done. However, we're going to have some trouble seeing if this works, so I'm going to tear up the floor stones here. That way I can get down to the chest underneath it, hopefully without causing any problems. So, chest should be right under there. There we go. Alright, good deal. A little torch here just so we can see what we're doing. Great. Alright, that way I can make sure that the collection system is working. Alright guys, we are ready to start filling up this chamber with water. Now I'm just going to put some temporary slime blocks here. That end down there, of course, is covered because there's glass, or a observer in this case, at each end. And there are two different ways that you can add water in here. First of all, you can do it with two buckets. You just place one bucket, and then 2 blocks over, you place another bucket, pardon me. And then you can grab additional water because this between here becomes an infinite water source. And then you can just continue going around the area that way, going over 2 blocks and 2 blocks. Alright, so now these are all water sources, and we're going to go along this wall and do the same thing all the way down to the end. Almost done, and when I place these last couple ones, this should all fill with source blocks. There we go. Another way that you can fill this chamber with water is to place ice blocks every other one and then break them. And when I break this one, the water should form sources all over the place, and now I'm drowning. So I'm going to have to bob in order to stay above it. It turns out that the ice placement is much easier than trying to pour water from a bucket while you're bobbing up and down. Of course, once the chamber gets high enough, or full enough I should say, you have to figure out ways to get on top of your ice in order to break it, because you can no longer break it from below. Alright, now that the water chamber is full, I'm going to go ahead and plant the kelp everywhere except for this row right in front of the flying machine. Alright, now we got all the kelp planted in the first chamber, and we're ready to start putting signs up near the top and then fill in with the rest of the water. Alright, I think that's basically the first row of signs, and I didn't kill myself doing it, so let's wish me the best of luck, and I'll keep trying here. Alright, so I was placing the signs because that's what Ilmango said to do next in his video, but then I saw the part where he started using a water bucket to waterlog them, but in creative that'll work, but that will not work in survival. So it's much better just to go ahead and place all the water, and then you can place all the signs in the water. It's much easier. All right, now starting from this end, we're going to put the sign in. I have to press Shift to do the next one, and you start typing, so it's a little dangerous. You got to make sure you watch your gauge, and then you got to make sure that doesn't happen. All right, good. We got that row in. The rest of them should be far easier to put in. It's like I'm spelling something. E-S. I don't know what it is that I'm spelling, but I do know I need to stop from drowning. All right, now that I've got all the signs in, I am going to go ahead and do the water that needs to go at the back here. Doesn't seem to be spreading across. It seems to be diving right there. Maybe that's why Ilmango did that layer first. Alright, so in order to ensure that I can put water streams across the top of this, I have squeezed myself down into a 1x1 space, and I filled the entire top of this thing with stone bricks, and I am going to proceed to fill this whole thing up across the top of here. Without drowning, I hope. Oh geez, I'm gonna have to put in the signs kind of quickly because the kelp is growing. Alright, so I finally got all of the signs in, and now I need to get under here and waterlog the ones that are not yet waterlogged. Luckily that will be pretty easy, as I can just grab source blocks from down here and go back in here and find the bubbles and place them, I hope. Alright, and that's it. Yeah, they spread by themselves. Alright, great. That's so good that they use the water mechanic. Alright, now I'm going to go back here and get this light out of here. Fill in this because we don't need it. And when I'm done, I'm going to make this place not spawnable. Alright, that is one side all done. Now just to do the entire other side. So here we are, folks. One side completely done. Finally, all the signs are in, all the water streams are working correctly, and all the kelp is growing. In fact, the kelp grew up so fast that it's almost reached the maximum limit. Okay, now it's time to do the other side. And I'm going to apply my recommendations from what I learned doing this side. First, you want to fill up the water tank to the third block from the top, the one that I'm pointing there. Leave 2 blocks above it. Lay a layer of blocks on top of the water. Then pour the water streams. It's easier this way. Place a line of blocks across the tank, 3 blocks down and 3 blocks in. Sorry, 4 blocks down. Then you can stand and place the signs, and it's much easier. Just remember to come up for air every once in a while. Then you can take out these blocks. Then you can place the rest of the signs while standing on the middle bar. Now you can waterlog the signs. Plant the kelp last. You don't want to plant the kelp before placing the signs. The kelp will grow up and create source blocks up there in your water streams. When you're all done, you'll want to put like a hood of blocks above your water streams. I'm just kind of floating on the top of the water to do this. It's easy. With this protective barrier here, it'll be much harder to mess up your water streams. Alright, so I went back to make 5 signs, 4 slabs, and to grab 5 buckets of water. And now I'm ready to pour the water streams here. And we don't need this in here anymore. Alright, so let me this carry me down, I think to the 8 mark, where it gets kind of weak. Well, is it here? I'm not sure. And then we're going to do a sign behind it. to put a bucket of water on top of that slab. And that is it. That is our kelp system all done. All right, so we're about ready to do this. I want to make sure that there's nothing on the floor that can be washed out. I think we're all good there. This is probably going to could get washed out. We'll see. All right, and then I'm going to start removing these slime blocks. And now I'm on the far side of the kelp farm, and I'm going to remove these kelp blocks here. Okay, let's fire this off. All right, this is exciting. Oh my goodness, look at all that kelp rising up there. Yes, here it is. And no, why didn't this send off? Ah, what's going on? Why didn't this work? But look at that. There's nothing waiting to get collected. Why is that? Oh, I left a temporary block up there. Idiot. All right, let's get this out of here real quick. Oh, crud. And then I just messed that up. Oh, now how am I going to get out of here? All right, good enough. Well, I completely messed that up, and there's no redstone here, and that's why this didn't fire. Oh my goodness. That's from one journey. That is from one journey across, with this one coming across and that one coming across. That is amazing. Wow, that is so much kelp. Looks like we're having some kelp rising issues. Not really sure what that's about. Maybe the source blocks didn't get the chance to form correctly. So then, in the next episode, what I have to do, of course, is build a giant furnace down here that'll collect all of the kelp that we're getting and smelt it automatically for us. And then I'm going to create a little room that allows me to send the kelp blocks that I create over to a giant smelter that I'm going to put down in this area. And of course, I'm going to complete that entire level up there as well. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to leave me a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe and leave me a comment. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a great one. Bye.